Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day here in the Danger Zone.
DGW Danger Zone Podcast. Is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeffrey Curtis, and this is DGW Danger Zone Podcast, Episode 3, Part 2. I am here with Kevin Bradshaw. Kevin 5-Star Bradshaw. There you go. Alright, I have a few questions for you, and like we just mentioned 5-Star, where did you come up with, like, that whole gimmick?
The whole gimmick? Well, you see, it came to me when, it's kind of like from my dad. He had this Letterman's jacket and from basketball when he was in high school. And so we had the same name, and so it had Brad on it. And I was just like, you know, Kevin Bradshaw needs something. And like an athlete with a Letterman's jacket, you would think they're like some big star guy. And so it hit me. I was just like, 5-Star Bradshaw. I'll come out with a Letterman's jacket and act like I'm a jock or I won it from something. And just like that.
Alright, so it was pretty much your idea, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and you gonna say something?
No, I wasn't.
Alright. What is the best highlight in your career?
Best highlight? Would this go under, like, best match or something? I mean,
it can.
It can. Well, if we're going to say best highlight, it'd probably be either having my first off, debuting at the Danger Zone for the first time, or it'd be my recent face turn, because, being a heel was cool and all, but I think I appeal more to the fans when I'm a good guy, and that they'll be behind me the whole time while I'm climbing the ladder and succeeding in the wrestling business.
All right, and so we talked about what happened, like the good things. What's your worst injury?
Worst injury? Well, see, we were going over some stuff before a match. This could be one of them, but we were practicing basically, and when we had speakers, like really big ones that would be in front of the stage. We were practicing, and then I think it was Simon Mack or JTM. I forgot who was practicing with me, but they were gonna slam my head onto the wooden part that was holding up the speaker, and we didn't notice the nail sticking out. So when I went and did it, the nail pierced through my wrist, and I had to get that taped up. And then another one would be recently, my lower back has been, I think it's because of one of my recent matches with, what's his name? Brimstone. Yeah, Brimstone. The choke slams off the trampoline, and then just the other two. My back has been sore, and it hurts, but yet I still go out there and wrestle on it. So I think I'll be all right.
So you haven't had any, like, career-threatening injuries?
No, not like Chris Jones with his broken neck, quote-unquote.
Speaking of that, that was actually one of the questions coming up. He came out of retirement. I asked John Bryson this, and I want to see what you think about it.
All right. I mean, it's great that he's coming back, but to me, him and some other dudes or some other wrestlers, I don't respect him, and I don't like his style. Like, I respect a lot of the guys, but I don't respect him personally, and I don't like his style of wrestling. If he would change his style, then, yeah, I would be on board with him. I would be like, yes, we need him, push him, blah, 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 blah. But right now, I don't think it's a big factor for him coming back. But, I mean, the good side of it is that we have another guy that we can have wrestling now. So, it's in between.
I 100% agree with that. I think he needs to change his gimmick, change his style, and maybe, just maybe, he can climb that ladder all the way to the top.
Yeah, but like just like you said, he needs to change his gimmick. Like, when he's the GM, one week he'll be this all nice guy, everything, shots, whatever. But then another week he'll just be a jerk to everyone and won't do anything good. So, I mean, he needs to just stick with one side, good or bad.
And since when is the general manager the referee? Like, that doesn't make sense. Did he put himself there? Is he like a crooked referee?
Well, see, my brother was also a ref at the time, and he stopped for reasons, and we needed a ref. And we didn't want to go back to saying it like the commentator saying it anymore because it wouldn't really help. So we all decided, since he's retired, we can hold him and give him a spot to help. So we said, hey, you want to be a ref? And he's like, sure.
All right, and do you think when he said that he would be a ref that he had some bad intentions, or was he going to be like calling it straight down the line?
Well, knowing him, you'll never know what he would do. Call it down the line, one match, screw someone over the other. I mean, you don't know. Anyone, all these guys, you can't trust them unless you really know them.
Yeah. I never really, like, paid attention, like, to what he was like before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I never saw his injury. I don't know if that was, like, was that taped? Like, is it on YouTube right now?
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the New Year's Eve show or the New Year's show that we posted. It was it was at night, so we had lights over it. I think that was the one where he had his injury.
And who gave him his injury?
Simon Mack.
And is that why? That's why Simon gave him the general manager job, right?
Basically, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't like him. We needed him still, whether it was being a wrestler or being a ref, being the timekeeper, whatever. We needed him, and so our GM spot was open, so that's how it came to be. We just asked him if he wanted to be the GM. He gladly took the spot.
So, seeing Simon give Chris Jones the general manager job, and knowing you can't always trust Chris Jones, see, we've seen recently that you can't trust Simon Mack either. He turned his back on the Grove Mafia. So
yes, he did.
Maybe they were like, maybe Simon Mack told Chris Jones to be crooked. I don't know, like, do you think that could have happened?
No, well, I mean, it could, but then again, if you've seen any of the recent shows, Simon Mack would always come out and low blow Chris Jones. Like, no kidding, he was just low blow every single time. So I don't think they're in cahoots with each other, but we don't. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
You never know.
Well, may never know.
Yeah, you never know with those group of people. All right, and I asked John Bryson about your triple threat match and Simon Mack versus RAT versus Talladega, and he told me that, if I'm not mistaken, I've slept since then, but he said that he believes that he could probably see OB winning your triple threat match.
I will think otherwise, because he's also another person I do not respect. Even though we were in a group together, I never respected the dude. And he needs help also. I mean, he's in better... His wrestling style is kind of better than Chris Jones, but he still needs help. And he hasn't been here for a while. So, I mean, we've had tensions off and on screen, which I'm not going to really get into because I don't want this all being drama or anything. But just like, he's not going to win. Trust me on that. He will not win.
All right, and so are you saying you're 100% sure that you're going to win this match?
Well, knowing that me and Big Mac, my bad, have only had matches, I think, 3 times in the past year, it's going to be a tough one for me. But I am sure that I can get past him and win the DGW World Championship.
And if you don't, are you still going to keep up with the 5-star gimmick, knowing that you did not make it?
Yes, I'm going to always keep up with this 5-star gimmick. Even though if I don't make it, I can always get another shot. I'm going to work harder than all these guys out there, like the Simon Max, the Talendagas, the RATs, the JTMs. I am going to prove to them that I deserve a shot at that. Or hell, I will go down to mid-card. I will win. I will go and beat Bryson and win his title. Or I will go face JTM and face him for the Continental title. I don't care. What my goal is in DGW is to set a statement, win a title, prestige it, hold it, and just be 5 stars.
Well, what you said earlier about you beating Big Mac, you said OB's out of the equation already because you know for sure he's not going to win. But you said that it's going to be a tough one against Big Mac, right?
Yes, it will.
But in the interview on one of your previous shows where you were backstage, it's not really an interview, it was just kind of a promo. You were there in front of all your trophies, and then it came to you. At the very end of the promo, you said that you're going to be standing above Big Mac with your hand raised, and you're going to be the new DGW World Champion. Like, you said it like it's going to be very easy.
Well, see, at first I thought it was easy, but then once OB got into the equation, which will now make it a triple threat, you never know what can happen. You don't know. I can pin OB and become champion, unless they're going to make the rule of you can only pin the champion. But in a triple threat, anything goes, anything is possible. So, it's going to be harder than I thought at first.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you at your triple threat match. Is it this weekend, right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the support.
All right, and I got some more questions. Who is your favorite DGW superstar to work with?
To work with? I'm going to give you 2, but it's a tie. But I like to work with RAT because his style and my style, when we collab, like we had, I think, 2 weeks ago or 3, if I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I like working with him. He's good. I like his style. I like his charisma, and I know that one day he'll be on the very, very top. And the second one is no other than Simon Mack, because as you should know, he's the man that brought me into DGW. He saw potential in me, my first tryout day, he's like, I see something in him. We're taking him in, putting him in a match which was Danger's Dawning, the first one. And so those two are my favorite to go up against and work with.
It seems like a lot of the DGW superstars' favorite superstar to work with is Simon Mack. Like, is there a specific reason to why it's always Simon?
I would think it's because it's Simon, but like it's just him. But maybe it's because he also, even though how he is on camera, it's not really how he is out off camera. He's a great guy. You can learn a lot from him. He helps all of us. He teaches us too. And I mean, he's great. His moveset's great. And he would take all our moves if we all did it to him, and he would just take it like a man. I feel that he's just a great guy to work with, and that's probably why everyone thinks that, or say that that's their favorite.
So, saying he's your favorite superstar to work with, or one of your favorite, is he your favorite in this triple threat match this weekend?
I'm not gonna lie. Even though he's one of my favorites, I think he has a chance, but I'm gonna have to go with RAT. RAT has proven time and time again that he can come face the big boys and go up against anyone and prove that he is good. And so I feel that RAT might slip in and win it.
I mean, put yourself in RAT's shoes for a second. Like, he won that briefcase, that battle for the briefcase, and then now he has to go through another ladder match to be able to rightfully own it. Like, I would not like that at all. Like, that would make me mad.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, technically, he didn't sign the paper. I mean, he did win the match, but he didn't sign the paper. So if I was him, I would fight for it. I would prove to everyone that I won this. So I'm going to prove it by beating two other guys for it, even though if I won the original match.
And did Simon sign that contract after he stole it from RAT? I think he did. Is it legal to be able to put that briefcase in another match?
No, because we're gonna go off topic a little bit. In WWE, they had Mr. Kennedy, or Mr. Anderson now. He won it at WrestleMania 23, and then the next night on Raw, he put it on the line because Edge got taken out of the equation because of the move, the big spot they had with him and Jeff Hardy. And so he said, I never lost, or I didn't even get my chance. I want a match with you tonight. And he did. He put it on the line, and Edge beat him for it. So, I mean, yeah, that was controversial, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah. And now that we're getting on the topic of pro wrestling and the fact that you said Edge never lost, well, what about Curtis Axel?
Oh, my. I mean, yeah, he's Mr. Perfect Son. And then now they don't even use him as much. I like the Axelmania gimmick. That was funny. I liked it. I was on to it, but then when he lost, he was the first one eliminated in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. I got kind of mad, but I was like, well, they weren't really hyping him up, so, I mean, I guess it's all right. But, I mean, he has some good talent, and I wish they would use him right.
Well, technically, he's still in the Royal Rumble right now.
Yes, he is. He's lasted longer than Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. And he didn't even get his match at WrestleMania. That's a shame.
I know that I would go on a hiatus for that.
And I'm gonna just go right back to DGW here for a second. I asked this question to everyone that's on the podcast, and they've all said that they don't know. Besides Simon Mack, he said he's going to this Wildcat Sports.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Do you plan on going to Wildcat Sports?
Well, if they saw some interest in me, I would. But for right now, no one's reaching out to me right now. And also I'm just trying to work on school and finishing up. And I mean, yeah, I would. If I had the chance, I would. I think it'd be great.
And I noticed you guys' live shows that you do where you guys go into that, like, boxing ring. It's more of a boxing ring than a wrestling ring, but it works. But, like, do they, like, I heard that they let you guys do that for free.
Yeah, but, I mean, the first time we did it, we wanted to try to see if we can get money off of it, but, yeah, we do it for free. I mean, money is not really always the answer, like, as some people say. I mean, we do it to just entertain people and show our skills and just prove to people how wrestling is real, not fake.
And so,
yeah.
Well, like, John Bryson and I were having this conversation, and it was where, like, there's a lot of, like, people that don't like pro wrestling because they think it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like, you should know this because you're in DGW and you guys have a mat and you guys don't, like, wrestle anything soft. But it hurts to fall on your back.
It does. It really does.
That's not easy.
Like that. Like that's why I got like I was talking earlier. My back's still hurting from 2 matches I had, or one, but then the week before it was hurting also.
But like you never get used to that, right?
Getting used to the mat. I mean, sometimes unless you're not there for a couple weeks, and then you got to get really used to it. I mean, you can't always be. I mean, you can, but if you've been not there for a long time or for a while, then you got to get used to it again.
Yeah.
Once the pain, to me, the pain. I don't want to sound like a weirdo or anything to anyone who's listening or will watch it, but like the pain that I take from that hitting the mat and stuff. I mean, it excites me. It's like, let's go, work harder, get your job done, finish the match, so on and so on.
So it's kind of like a little bit of adrenaline building up while you're going through the match.
Yes, like when someone does their comeback, like let's say RIT, he would face me, we do their comeback. Like when I hit that mat, I'm just like, let's go, come on, let's go. Just get hyped up and pumped up. It's great.
So the first time you hit your back on that mat, how did it feel?
It hurt. I was surprised on how well it's built. And so when I took it, I thought my expectations were that it was going to hurt so bad that I would probably not be able to breathe. But after I took the first one, it wasn't as bad, but it did hurt.
So when you tried out for DGW, did they like make you fall on your back, or like what's the entire like?
Well, what we do is, they told me to do a suplex, take one and do one. My punches, take some and do some. Jumping off the trampoline onto the mat. Oh, at the time, all right. When I joined, at the time, we only had the trampoline. So I mean, yeah, we ended up progressing into the ring. But and when I did hit it, it was pretty bad. But and then I had to take everyone's finisher, which we don't do anymore. Like, I guess they were just messing with me. They made me take a spear from Corey Foster, the S3 from Simon Mack, the JTM's finisher, the Rat Splash, and the Cheese Twist, a TKO, or TDK, my bad, from Talladega, and so on and so forth. But after that, they saw potential, and so it was just a one-day tryout for me. But for others, it takes a while. But yeah, I ended up getting in, and now I'm here.
And what is that mat made of? Like, what does it consist of?
So the bottom is like queen size beds, and I think 2 twin size. The frame is wood, like just pieces of wood, like long ones, and like we use for our tables. We put them under there, and then we have pads that you would put on the ground for like if you're like your weight equipment or something. You put that on top, the padding on the bottom, and then put the equipment on, or for like yoga or something. And then it's just a tarp.
And so, do you think that feels pretty much how a WWE wrestling ring would feel?
I would say yeah, because I think theirs is made of, it's like metal. The frame is all metal, I think, or iron or something. I don't know about it. And then I think it's, there's some cushion, and then there's like just a straight up planks everywhere of wood, or a big sheet of wood, plywood. And then it's just the thing. So I think it equals out to the same feeling, but ours might be worse, but I think it's kind of equal.
Yeah, and then, so I asked about your mat, how it's made, but the stage set, you guys changed the stage set a lot.
We do.
And, like, who changes the stage set?
Well, first it goes through. It's what Simon Mack, Big Mac, and JTM, what they want to, like, what they come up with, and then they get us to come before the show, and we change it up a bit. So it's whatever they come up with, and then we get the material, and then make it.
And then I noticed that some of your previous shows, that you guys don't have it anymore, I don't think, but there was that DGW logo that's usually hanging up at the top. It's right in front of the entrance, and it moves open and closes.
We did that for a couple weeks, but then now once you go look at the new episodes and stuff, it's back up at the top. We changed it up a little bit more, back up at the top. And I think I like this stage a little bit more than a lot of them.
Yeah. So, who was the person to open and close that DGW logo?
To open and close? Well, I think it'd be any of us. Like, whoever has open free hand, they'll just open it for them and then close it.
And your shows, like your matches, are they one right after the other, or are there breaks in between?
There's breaks in between and stuff. Sometimes we just go right along after. And, like, let's say, this past week, the spring break finale, or not spring break finale, spring break specials that we had this week, we go over the stuff an hour before, all of us, whoever has a match that week, or that day. And then we would go on, add the match, whoever goes first, then you get a little bit more time, whoever has another match, unless it's just one. But, they'd go on, practice a little, and then they go on. They just have their match. Like, I just had a match yesterday, I think, with Simon, and we just, because of our chemistry together, we didn't even go over anything. We just went with it, and it ended up being a really good match.
Yeah, I saw that. I just didn't get to really pay attention to the entrance stage. But I noticed that on some of you guys' previous shows, I think it was when Simon stole the briefcase. That show, at the beginning of it, you guys had an audience there. And then when Simon stole it, there was no audience. Like, I thought that maybe, like, it was different days. Like, was it recorded on a different day?
I think I might have been there, but if I wasn't, we have people come out sometimes and just watch a little, and then they go on to do their thing. We don't really have audiences as we should, or what we want, but no, it's just like sometimes it'll be someone's parents or someone's sister or brother or whatever, family member, or just a friend. They come out and just watch for a little bit, but I don't think we pre-recorded, or I recorded one day and then did it again the other.
Well, speaking of parents, the DGW Danger Zone is in Simon's backyard, right?
Yes.
Are his, like, parents okay with everything that goes on back there?
Not really, like, the hardcore part of it. They, like, his mom doesn't, but his dad loves wrestling. He likes us doing it, and so there's not really a problem from them. They're all right with it.
So, like, even when Simon got slammed to the table on fire, like, they were all cool about that, too?
Yeah, they just wanted us to be protective and be safe, and, like have the water ready once it happened.
Well, I saw this blooper on Instagram. I forgot whose Instagram it was, but I believe it was Talon went through the table and his shirt got caught on fire.
Oh, yes. So what was happening, Simon Mack was out there because it was still the Grove Mafia, and he had the lighter fluid, and they were going up on that ladder, Talladega and OB, and so he was spraying the lighter fluid, but he had a bottle of water in his in his other hand, but he didn't notice that he was still spraying the lighter fluid once they went through it, and so I think that's why his shirt was on fire.
Oh.
It was on accident by Simon.
Well, I mean, speaking of the table matches with a fire, back to Simon's. He was going one-on-one with Dozer. Is there any sign of Dozer returning to the Danger Zone?
Not that I know of, but I mean, if we got in communication with him, I think he would come back. But for now, I don't think so, in my opinion. But I don't really know.
And I don't remember what Simon said. I remember it was in the first podcast, but I asked him who owns DGW, and I completely forgot, so I'm going to ask you, who owns DGW?
The owner, I think it's his dad. I think that we all could agree on it's his dad that owns it. But the creators are like, are basically the Mount Rushmore of DGW, which is JTM, Simon Mack, Big Mac, Talladega, RAT, those people. They came up with it, but the creator, or the owner is Simon Mack's dad.
All right, and so they all started it, and like when you got involved into DGW, did you know them personally before you joined DGW, or like did you just know them because you watched them?
Well, I knew John Bryson and Talladega personally because of sports and school. But I didn't know Simon and Rad and Big Mac. But how I got into it or found out about it was I was on Instagram one day and I saw John Bryson, his Instagram, and he had a video of him and Simon Mack having a match. It was like back then. I was like, dang. And then it came to me, I was like, I like wrestling. And then this dude, because at the time, his match, those matches sucked. Like, the old ones, a little bit. And so I was like, if this dude can do it and get in, I think I can get in. And so that's when I got in communication with them.
Like, down there in Louisiana, is there a bunch of people that, like, watch wrestling?
I don't think in our area. I mean, I have friends who do. Well, certainly us from DGW, we do. I went to one of the live shows, the live Raw, a couple months ago when it came down here, and it looked like there was a lot of people that watch it. And I mean, I would guess they do. I don't know a lot of people who do as much as I did back then, but my opinion, I think they do. So I think it's pretty cool to know that we have wrestling fans down in Louisiana.
Well, I mean, like, because where I'm from, like, it's almost, like, shameful to be able to like wrestling.
Well, I think people don't understand. It's like the love for wrestling. It's like the love for love of someone for football. It's equal, I guess. I mean, yeah, we know that wrestling is sometimes scripted. Sometimes the stuff is quote unquote fake, but we love it. We don't care about the negative part about it. We like the positive, and that we can still take it as like we're little kids and we think everything is awesome about it and stuff. Even without the spoilers and stuff, we still watch it and we discuss with people about it. It's a community of people who like it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think like a lot of people over here are like either afraid to talk about it or maybe they just don't like it.
I think it's people are afraid because they think people would not talk to them, like say like fit in, so they just like never talk about it to friends that they're trying to fit in with.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a few questions left. I'm going to go ahead and knock them out right now. At the spring break special, I believe it was day 1, we had a few guys ringside. The announcers called them sponsors. Who are those sponsors?
The sponsors, one of them is my good friend Nick Aurelian. We don't have like a special name for him except for sponsor. Yeah, I brought him in because he also does something on YouTube, and he wanted to be a sponsor for them, so they made a deal. And so he likes coming now, but he's not gonna be able to come the rest of this week because he's in Chicago right now on a band trip from our school. So he'll be back next week, I think.
All right, and since he's like considered a sponsor, does that mean like he pays you guys, or like what's going on there?
He shouts us out. Because he does his vlogs and gaming stuff and on his channel, and so he shouts us out, and then we would do the same as I think we did in the first episode of Spring Break Special. We shouted them out. So it's like it's kind of like that, but nothing with money, not yet.
All right.
Maybe in the future.
And at Spring Break Special, day 1 and day 2, I believe you had a match both of those days, right?
I think day 1 and day 3.
Day 3.
I think. Yeah, which was yesterday.
And who was your opponent for yesterday's?
Yesterday was no hero other than the Golden Boy.
And then day one, who was that?
Brimstone, the returning Brimstone. In-ring action was his return in-ring. Because he returned the week before.
See, when he returned a week ago, I don't remember who he was. How long has it been since he's been out of action?
Brimstone, I think it was his last match before he left. It might have been somewhere around January or February, I think. Or, it was way before Battle for the Briefcase and way before Deathmatch, I think. So it was like a couple months ago that it was his last match, and then now he's returning.
And I don't know if I'm getting this wrong or not, but he is the one with all the costume stuff on, right?
Yeah, he like the the Scream mask, like the cut up one, and like black clothes and stuff. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. All right, and I just want to get, this is the last question I got, your thoughts on John Bryson's 5-0 streak against Simon Mack.
It's a new streak, new active streak. I think it's interesting. I mean, he's the only man right now to beat Simon Mack and not lose to him. I mean, some of them were close calls and some of them were controversial, but I think it's pretty good for him to have a streak against someone.
And how long do you think this streak is going to go on?
Obviously not forever, but maybe 2 more matches he'll win, and then he'll finally lose to him.
All right, and that's all the time we have for this part 2, but I believe part 3 is going to be either later on today or sometime tomorrow. I don't know when we're going to schedule that, but it's going to be with Kevin, 5-star Bradshaw, and John, wait for it, Bryson. So I hope you guys don't argue too much.
We probably won't. I think we're on good terms right now. So I think we won't.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you.